Welcome to this breaking news, I-24 News edition. I'm Benita Levine coming to you live from Tel Aviv, and we're going to be taking you shortly to the Israeli parliament in Jerusalem. We're expecting to hear from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as Israel's political system is once again at a boiling point, with rising tensions between the Prime Minister and his coalition partner and alternate Prime Minister Benny Gantz. Now, a short while ago, Gantz opened the blue and white faction meeting and attacked Benjamin Netanyahu over the publicizing of his flight to Saudi Arabia, saying the leak of the Prime Minister's secret flight to Saudi Arabia is an irresponsible move. Speaking on the prospect of possible elections, Gantz adding he wants to say that the state of Israel needs a functioning government with a budget. So let's bring in our senior international affairs correspondent, Owen Alterman, and he joins us from Petach Tikva. Owen, thank you for your time. One can understand anybody watching being slightly confused. We're hearing leaks about an apparent trip that Benjamin Netanyahu took to Saudi Arabia, meeting with Mike Pompeo, the U.S. Secretary of State. Let's hear right now what he has to say about it from Jerusalem.
I've never addressed those things, and I don't plan to begin to do so now. I can only say to you that throughout my years as Prime Minister, I worked in every effort to strengthen the state of Israel and broaden the circle of peace with our neighbors, with the Emirates, with Sudan, and I hope this circle will continue to grow. We trust you, Mr. Prime Minister, and no Knesset probe will keep us. We will hear Yariv Levin first and then the Prime Minister. Hello, everyone. I think we were witnessing a severe and unprecedented event. We witnessed an event which was both severe and unprecedented. The opening of this supposed commission, which is a completely political commission regarding the submarines, is very cynical. It is very clear to everyone that the resources of the state and those of the defense ministry are to be used by the people of Israel, not for political means. And there is something more severe. The defense minister puts an equation that is just disgusting, and he exposed what is happening here. It is either you accept what we demand of you politically, or we investigate you. This is the equation. The Prime Minister is leaning his head down, and whatever blue and white decides happens. And if we stand up to our rights, then we're under a probe. All of this while using the taxpayer money. At this time, I believe that this obsessive chasing in the attempt to topple you, Mr. Prime Minister, in this way, in this context, is a new record in the betrayal of the people of Israel and the will to try to gain votes as you go down. There needs to be a limit to this, and I expect all the heads of the Justice Ministry that warn about prohibited moves that cannot be used, public resources and state resources cannot be used. I expect them to interfere immediately and put an end to this scandal. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. I think this is a shame that Gantz uses the IDF as a mean to attack me politically. He said himself a few months ago that he finds no reason to probe the submarine case. After all All the officials have determined that there is no need to open a probe. It is, we're all waiting to see what will be Gantz's conclusion on whether the Prime Minister should resign. All of this probe was meant only for one goal, to bring votes. And I think it is a great shame no defense minister has used the IDF for political means like Gantz has. And I can only hope that Gantz comes to his senses and return to what the people of Israel expect of us, and that is continuing to work together for the fight against coronavirus, for improving our economy, towards expanding the circle of peace. And we brought vaccines with Pfizer and Moderna and AstraZeneca. All of them proved high efficiency. My policy is simple: as many vaccines from as many sources to as many civilians as quickly as possible. And this is the main thing. This puts the hope in the horizon. The other thing that we're doing, we have a coronavirus commission. We're dealing with preserving the low morbidity rate in comparison to the European countries, many other countries in the world, and act responsibly until we reach the vaccines, and I hope you will all cooperate. And the third thing, the other great issue is the issue of peace that is expanding. The Bahraini foreign minister was here, who came to the house of the Prime Minister, Israeli Prime Minister in Jerusalem. There was never such thing. This is a tremendous change. Delegations coming and going from here and there. This is something we could have only dreamed of before. We've dreamt and we've done it. We've made an effort of years that is now coming to fruition. I think that the third thing we need to notice is the economy. There are still economical difficulties. We need to help, and we're doing this. But all the time, there is an argument about how we are doing in comparison to the other world economies. And at least according to the international observers, we're doing well. Our S&P and Moody's have kept our credit ratings as it is, although they've lowered that of countries like Britain. And yesterday we heard from the IMF that the Israeli economy has shrunk much less than other Western economies. And I want to give another. So we have achievements with the coronavirus, with the peace, with the economy, and many challenges ahead. We need to concentrate on those challenges. This is not the time for tricks or photos. This is a time for real work. This is still my aspiration, but I must say that my hope is disappearing. Thank you, Prime Minister. We will begin the faction meeting.